Since Donald Trump was elected president, a lot of gun owners have had a lot of expectations. Now, some of these expectations are completely unreasonable. They say, I hope he gets rid of the ATF, or I hope he makes, automatic weapons legal. Well, that's not within the powers of the president. But after a lot of thinking, I have decided that there is something that is within his power that I would love to see him do. What I would love to see Donald Trump do is change the way the ATF processes NFA item forms. Now, this is something he can do just with his power to regulate government agencies. He could say to them, you know what? This 8-month wait on NFA items is ridiculous. No one should have to wait that long. The fact that they were already approved to buy the items shows that they're not a risk. They have passed a background check already. All you're doing is registering it. So 8 months is ridiculous. You have 30 days. And if you don't do them within 30 days, your job's at risk. And then if they say, well, there's no way we can do it within 30 days, well, he could say, okay, well, we'll pull off some of these other agents who spend literally 70% of their time either just sitting around waiting for paperwork to come back to be filed or following the FBI around like they're valets. We'll pull them off what they're doing, which is basically nothing, put them on processing forms, start getting them done within 30 days. It's kind of like when you get a background check for a firearm, they have 3 days to complete the search. There's a reason for that. It's not a loophole like Hillary Clinton was saying and a lot of people on the left. It's actually something put in place to ensure that the federal government doesn't deny you your rights without due cause. When they have a time limit on their ability to actually deny you a right, that means they actually have to get to work and then either let you have it or deny you that item. So that 3 days ensures that they do what they're supposed to do and that you are able to exercise your right to buy a firearm when you can legally possess one. That is not a loophole. That is something to ensure that you get to exercise your rights without bureaucrats stripping you of your rights without due cause. So I don't see any reason why we couldn't do the same thing to the ATF with NFA items. Now, we can't really make it a law. The president can't make it a law, but like I said, he can say, if you're not doing your job, we'll have to fire you and get somebody else. And then can say, well, we'll give you more people to help you complete your job. That's all totally fair. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, well, they get way too many forms to be able to do them in 30 days. They do get a lot of forms. They get like 1.5 million forms a year. But that's not people just buying NFA items. What that is a bunch of redundant paperwork from manufacturers. These people who manufacture things like silencers, they have to file paperwork when they manufacture it. They have to file paperwork when they ship it. They got to file paperwork when they transfer it. It's just a bunch of redundant paperwork that could be gotten rid of. As long as the items are registered when they're made, and you could say, okay, this manufacturer is okayed to manufacture this item, serial number, this through this. And then once they're manufactured, they just get registered once more when they're sold to the person who actually owns them. That's all that needs to be done. All these steps in the middle do not need to be done. Doing that doesn't stop any crime, doesn't solve any issues. All it does is create a bureaucracy that slows things down and makes it harder for you to own things and harder for businesses to make a profit making those things that the government doesn't really want you to have but can't legally deny you ownership of. So if Donald Trump would say you got 30 days, well then that would force people in Congress, the people that actually can change the laws, to do something. If they think the ATF actually serves a purpose, that they are actually valuable out there in the field doing their jobs, well then they'll have to say, well, we got to get it to where the ATF agents can be back out in the field, so we have to streamline the NFA process. We either have to reduce the number of forms, or we have to make it a simpler process, or just make it an online process that's instantaneous. Because if they really think, like I said, the ATF actually serves a purpose other than just slowing down the process and denying you your rights, they'll actually make changes to make it better, to make it to where you can get your paperwork filed, get it approved, get it sent back to you, but the agents can still have time to do the other things they do, whatever that is. And believe me, I actually have a cousin whose ex-wife worked for the ATF, and if you ask her, what do you all do all day? She'd be like, I don't know. Most of the time we do next to nothing. So she was even the firm believer that most of their job was just paperwork. So, the ATF doesn't really serve a good purpose. But if the people in Congress think it does, they would have to take steps to make them once again be able to be effective, make it to where they weren't just doing paperwork all day. So if you ask me, the one thing that Donald Trump could do for gun owners right now is just get on the ATF, tell them you have 30 days to process a form. If you can't do it in 30 days, let me know. I'll mandate more manpower to getting them done within 30 days. And then if they're still not getting done in 30 days, we have to start looking at firing people. And since there's a hiring freeze, the ATF's just going to shrink and shrink and shrink. So like I said, that would take care of one problem we have, the long waits, and it would take care of another problem because it would make the people in Congress get off their ass and actually do something to make the ATF either effective or just get rid of it.